So it's Gary Bennett again, Tractor Whisperer. I'm going to do a quick walk around. We've done a video on this tractor. This is a tractor we went and recovered on a rainy, nasty day. The engine, it's a 3152 Perkins, 42 horse. It's an M20 Massey Ferguson. The engine runs great. We got everything cleaned up motor-wise. The lift would go up, would not come back down, which is problematic. So we pulled the cover off, and basically all the controls was in bad shape on the tractor, and I will show you that here shortly too. But we're going to rebuild the cover, the lift cover and the controls, and also the M20 Massey Ferguson has a forward reverser, which is this lever right here, and it shifts it back and forth. This has excessive, there's a pin that passes through right here. I'm going to replace that, see if I can tighten this up. This lever here had been broken off completely, and I just cobbled something together to put on there so I could shift it. But the transmission's good, lock differential works fine. The tractor basically needs some well-deserved love, and we're going to apply it to this tractor too. The Massey Ferguson M20. Here is the cover, the left cover. I'll show you the condition. It actually welded and cobbled together. This component here, it was cobbled together. The lift controls. Here's a piece of junk. Let me look at that little bit of weld on there. It's terrible. It never lasts. This piece right here, wicked hard to get out. But I got it out, got it replaced, got a new one to go in here. I've reworked all of the lift control cams. Let's see. Here is a roller. This roller here is locked up. That roller right there, this roller is locked up. This roller is missing. And this is the roller that would have been on the controls. There's two sets of controls. As you see, there's an inner sleeve and an outer sleeve. I had to wind up sawing them in half to get it out. And it also has a countersunk pan head or flat head socket bolt that goes in here, fits in this concave pocket to tighten up on it. The old one is threaded. Right there, that hole has threads in it. And it screws to that socket bolt, keeps it from turning. The new one, which I had to get, I ordered it, I had to hunt for it. This one's from a supplier out of Turkey. But I'll show you. That hole right there is supposed to have 5/16, 24 threads in it. It's just a hole. So the socket bolt's trapped where the cover goes on there, and it goes in there like that. There's no way it can turn, but you're relying on that. And this had slop in it. So I'm gonna go today and purchase a helicoil kit and thread this to 5/16 coarse thread to get the slop out of it. So anyway, that's where we are. These levers, the cams were worn completely out. This pin, there's a socket head bolt down here where my little finger you have to take out, and there's an Allen screw Down in there, you have to take out, and the pin comes out. And the pin looks just like this one. Matter of fact, this is the one that was in there. And you'll see how much, it's just loose as a goose. It won't slap out. And also these cams were out of the pockets that they run in due to the fact that this thing had slipped out. So that's a new pin in there now. And all this is going back together. These are mean to put together. You need 14 hands. There's not room but for one hand. So long story short, I'll show you putting this thing back together and getting this thing back in good shape. We're on the right track. I'm gonna try to walk you through a couple of things that I've done to this unit. I was successful. I talked to you earlier about this new quadrant that I purchased had no threads in the hole. It's just a blank hole. So I was able to thread it with a helicoil kit, 5/16, 18 thread, which is the right thread for this screw that holds it in place here. And it's tight, so that worked out well. A couple other things I'm gonna try to move you in closer and show you on this quadrant unit. We'll have to kind of stand behind it so I can see what the camera is looking at. These levers here and the quadrant, of course the old quadrant was broke and the rollers are bad, and this quadrant of course cured that. And this spring here, make sure you can see that too. Get more light on it. There we go. There's a spring, it hooks to the little roller piece down on the bottom of the cam that's part of the seat cover. Not the quadrant, part of the seat cover. That spring hooks to it, and it hooks to this rod that runs here. And you'll see it here. And I'll see if I can make it move for you. See it moving right there? Keep in mind that this has to be up, which would be down in the tractor. And it inserts into this hole in this roller here when you put the quadrant back in. Same thing with the inside one. It has to be held up. I'm gonna see if I can show you this one. There's the end, right there at the end of my pointer here. Right there is the end of that cam, right here. So it actually goes up in there. I don't know if I can move that one or not. No, it's not gonna move now, but that's where it goes. And it inserted right in, tightened up. So I'm very pleased with that. Now another thing I'm going to show you. So here we go. Now the manual talks about, and there's all kind of devices used to set this control with. But the bottom line is, I'm gonna function this thing while we're here. Now, this lever here, that lever is the draft control lever. And right here, this is the position control lever. And all the way down and all the way down, I can mash that all the way back. If I move it just a little bit, right there, it makes it harder for me to move it back. Right there, the position control lever is in the transport position. I can feel it go. Typically this rod would be straight up and down. This knurled nut, I'll have to adjust it when I put it in. It pushes on the roller. It goes down to the pump, which is this way. Right now, I have the position control lever in transport position and the draft control lever down, such as you is applying deeply. Now, I'm going to proceed coming forward. Forward is up. So right there, it actually gets to a point. That's as far as I can get it to go up. Now I got to make sure that my roller can mash that far. There's two adjustments. There's one adjustment right here. That'll adjust this position of this lever, and also this adjustment right here. This bolt should when it hits, it should not really have slack in it. This sleeve here is made to go in and out like that. It's made to do that. So we'll put it in the tractor. Now that's the draft control lever. Hit my flashlight there. Draft control lever. I can't stop it from right there, that position right there in the transport position. That's as far as it'll go, out. Now if I change this, that transport position moves. Now right now, that's all the way down. And down would mean it would plow deeper if you had the position control lever set. If you used to raise up on the position control lever, watch, I got pressure, I'm trying to mash it back. See it coming back? So the position control lever is working between the transport position and down. I'm gonna take it back the other way. Excuse me, moved the wrong one. And that's all the way down. That's for it to plow the deepest it could possibly plow if you had the position control lever set. And now I'm going to take the draft control lever and I'm going to take it all the way down. It really didn't change any, so that's fine. So when I raise this up, and that's not changing right now, that position is down and the position control lever's got it down. So it's overriding the draft control lever. Now I'm gonna raise this up to transport.
We have the opportunity to source unique pieces from a variety of estates. Everything from intricate diamond rings to bold gold cuffs and earrings, and so much more. We ensure that every piece of estate jewelry is a
draft control all the way down, and that's as far as I can mash it. And then all the way up, that would be the deepest you could possibly plow. It really doesn't go any deeper than it does once you get it to the transport position. Now, see, I got it all the way down, and I'm mashing it down, and I've got the position control in transport position. Now I'm gonna raise the lever to come up, and see it coming up. It gets to that point right there and it stops. If I needed it to come further forward, I would need to tighten up on this right here. This little set screw right here, which would bring this lever further forward. I hate to play with it going in and out of the tractor. It's nice to have a comfort level that you got it right when you go in. But that without those special tools and just looking at the mechanics of the system, that's where it is. Also, it relies on the position of these arms, which is up now. They run on this cam follower right here on the arm. This rod right here, that goes up into the spring on the draft control. And if that pushes in, then it knows it's plowing really, really deep. So it'll raise it some automatically. So we're getting there. So I just wanted to show you quadrant tapped out fine. They make use of this, no problem, first class fix. And also that these arms have to be on top of the rollers when you put this quadrant in. And also that spring that I showed you down in there has to be hooked, and it pulls this down, keeps tension on it, which would be up. It'd be the up position. You don't want to forget that. So that's got our quadrant and seat cover in pretty good shape, I do believe. This is the Massey Ferguson 20. We're working on the lift cover. I'm going to try to show you a couple of things on it. There's actually pins that go through these balls, and that's what they pivot on. The pins wear out. The balls wear too, but especially like on this one with the forward reverse lever. See how sloppy it is right there? If you look really, really close, really close, there's a pin right there that needs to come out this way. I'll pull these out and see if I can. I've looked around to see if I can get these. You can actually replace this sleeve. You have to take the whole top cover off to do it. They're very difficult to do. I'm going to try to make a repair on this one. This one, if it holds this way, it's just great. So that little bit of play messes them up. There's actually, some of them have springs on them to hold them down. That also helps them a little bit. These double levers, I don't know how in the world you can put a spring on them. This one here, you can put a spring on it, hold it down. It actually holds it up into the socket and keeps the play out of the pin. So anyway, this is where we are on this one. Look forward to getting it done. I should have videoed it, but this pin that goes through the gear shift lever, they worked awful. Right now they work great. They work excellent. So this lever was broke. I got to make another one for it. I just put that on there so I can shift it. And I got a pin in it right now, and I'll show you. This pin right here is the pin. That's the pin. You can see how worn it is. This back here is where the high-low runs, and back here is where the forward and reverse runs. It's knurled on one end. This end right here where my finger is, it's knurled, and it's knurled on this side. On this side, they're very hard to get out. I've had some success with them as I did them. I heat them a little bit on both sides, and I have to bend a punch like that to sneak in like this to knock them out. And I knocked this one out, repaired it, and of course this shift lever here, they're very tight now. This shift lever here was worn, had a big oblong hole in it on this side. So when I pulled it out, I just welded it up solid, ground it off so it still looked like a ball, and then re-drilled it from the other side, made this like new. I put together a package earlier where I was picking up this M20 commercial tractor, a rainy day tractor I'd actually been sitting for a long time, and I wanted to conclude the episode. The tractor's actually finished. I'll do you a walk around so you can see it. We got it running the day we hauled it in. The engine compression checks out just excellent. The motor cranks great. Tractor runs good. Very pleased with it. I'll walk you around and show you the tractor a little bit. It had multiple problems when we bought it. The seller actually thought the differential was broke on it. It has a forward reverser that had been actually broke off of it too, so this lever right here. The shift linkages were wore out in it. We completely reworked them and repinned them, and it just shifts excellent. Transmission's good. One of the weird things we had on this tractor is the lift. If you raised it up, the lift went down. If you raised it down, the lift went up. I had never had a tractor that worked in reverse. We actually took the tractor apart, took the pump out. Pump looked excellent. Come find out it had the wrong spool valve in it, so after a lot of trial and error and searching, I actually found the right spool valve. So now when you go down, it goes down. You raise it up, it raises up. So the lift's been redone. No leaks in the tractor anywhere. Actually had all new hoses made for it, power steering. Cylinders were bent on it when I'd got it as well. Put a new seat on it, repainted it, redid the rubber components that was leaking on it. Kind of went through the whole tractor. That's very happy with it. Redid the dash as well. But the tractor runs and drives excellent. Got great power steering because of this commercial quality cylinders that are on them. It's not power assist, it's actually like finger touch power steering. It just works great. I wanted to conclude the episode on this M20. I'm actually gonna list it for sale. I'm gonna move this one down the line. I got several others out there that needs to be put in its position, but it's a good solid tractor. That forward reverser, I really like it. It doesn't have a reverse down here at the 3-speed shifter. It's got 1, 2, 3, but the reverse, whenever you pull that lever back on whatever gear you got it in, it'll back up. So that's real convenient. You push it forward, it goes back in the forward gear you've selected in it, and of course the high and low speed axle will work too. So it's Gary Bennett, Tractor Whisperer. I appreciate you following us. I hope you liked watching us wake this tractor back up. It's turned out to be pretty successful. It's Gary Bennett, Parker Bennett. Please like and subscribe to us. I'd appreciate it. It's very good. Tractor Whisperer, Gary Bennett. Bye. Thanks.